It's your boy, Amreezy, and I'm back with another Road to Sorare Boss episode where we follow my journey in the wonderful world of Sorare, get comfortable for some juicy Sorare content as always. Every week I make these videos, Road to Sorare Boss videos. I review my gallery, show you the new cards I'm buying, show you my lineups from the past weekend, show you my lineups for the coming weekend, and explain all the good stuff in between. Not as much has changed in terms of my Sorare strategy. I'm still plugging away. This weekend coming up, we have no Premier League in season, which is a little bit of a hurt for me because that's my kind of bread and butter. That's my favorite league, but no Premier League in season, so it could be a quieter weekend for me, but I'm still playing Premier League in season. Mexico and Spain, they're my kind of three countries that I target. I bought a few new Mexican cards. I just can't help myself. It may not make full sense, but I just love Mexican football. It makes it way more interesting for me if I have Sorare cards. So I'll show you the new cards that I've been buying later in the video, mainly Mexican cards, but let's start off the video, as we always do, people, with looking at how my Sorare lineups did last weekend. Okay, here we go. These are how my lineups did last weekend. And before we look at last weekend, we'll just look at the current midweek set of games, which is live. Not been a great midweek for me, even though there was Premier League football midweek. I was kind of excited about that. And I did say on my Monday show, my Premier League review show every Monday, go check that out if you haven't. There won't be one next Monday because there's no Premier League football to review, but there will be one the following weekend. Basically, whenever there's a weekend of Premier League football, Amreezy makes a video on Mondays reviewing the whole weekend of Premier League football and what it means to Sorare, so go check that out if you haven't. So midweek, West Ham have still to play. I'm recording this just before West Ham play against Leicester. That's the last game of the midweek. So maybe if West Ham do well, I can get a good reward here in the cap 230. That's kind of my last chance at getting a reward, this lineup here with the West Ham boys. The rest of the lineups, no real rewards really. I went for Everton. Hilariously, I went for Everton and they didn't keep a clean sheet. Doucouré didn't play. So last week I didn't play Doucouré because I was like, I don't think he'll start. I think Alcaraz will start after Alcaraz's goal the week before. Alcaraz didn't play. Doucouré played. So then this game week, I'm like, okay, so Doucouré is the main man again. Doucouré I'm playing. He didn't play and Alcaraz played. So hilarious. So Everton are causing me some pain. My Tigres boys didn't quite deliver, my Tigres boys. And spoiler alert, not spoiler alert, Mexican advice alert. Tigres aren't quite firing on all cylinders. They're not quite there, Tigres, this year. They're not quite performing quite well. So keep an eye on people that are playing Tigres, maybe for surprise results. But yes, Tigres lost 1-0, so that wasn't fun for me there. Wolves lost to Fulham. I really thought this was the beginning of my good spell with my Wolves cards, but they didn't beat Fulham. They lost 2-1. Cole Palmer, if you saw Chelsea beat Southampton, was a ridiculous game. Southampton obviously didn't really offer any threat. Everybody scored for Chelsea. Defenders that never score, like Colwill, Cucurella scored. Basically, everybody scored on the pitch except for Cole Palmer. That's how it felt like as a Cole Palmer captainer. So yeah, that's a bit of a disappointment, but yeah, Wolves let me down. Crystal Palace did well, but the goalkeeper didn't get that good of a score. But maybe Bowen smashes it today and we can scrape some measly essence. Nottingham Forest drew 0-0 to Arsenal, which was a good performance from the defence. 88 from the Williams, 68 from Sells. But going forward with a 0-0, you're not going to have much fun, are you? So Chris Wood with a mere 24 points. Disastrous. Hudson-Odoi looks very lively though, and I have been saying on the channel for a while, since he's come back from his injury, Hudson-Odoi looks lively. Looks like he's probably now the most attacking threat. If I had to pick one Forest card out of all of them, I think I'd go for Hudson-Odoi now over Elanga and Chris Wood. So yeah, maybe in the future I don't play Chris Wood and I play Hudson-Odoi here and someone else in the team. Chelsea, so like I was saying, won 4-0. It looks like I might win a tier 4 card. There's still one more game to play, West Ham's game. So maybe this drops. It's crazy that it's 446 and I might scrape a tier 5 card. I'm 6 points ahead. So after the West Ham game today, this might drop a bit more. So yeah, Caicedo let me down with a yellow card. Maybe if I had put Cole Palmer in this lineup and not played Caicedo, maybe that's the way to go. But Neto looks good. Cucurella scored, which is obviously good. Enzo Fernandez is looking lively. A 91 score with no decisives. It shows you that Enzo's really in that engine room right now. He's really pulling the strings in the midfield. So that was good. And Jorgensen didn't make any mistakes. Yay! So let's keep an eye on these Chelsea Classic cards. Maybe they've got Leicester next in the league. So that could be another good game for this team. Maybe I play Cole Palmer instead of Caicedo in that game. And the same guys. And then, yeah, nothing else to report midweek. In the weekend before that, we had our first MLS warm-up team, which did nothing. We put out a couple of specials. The best special was this team. Carlos Vicente at my Deportivo Alaves boys let me down. They lost 1-0 at home to Espanyol. A terrible result. They had to win. They might get relegated. They're in their second to bottom in the table, I think. And this was a game, a relegation 6-pointer, and they lost 1-0 at home. And I watched most of this game, and they just look so lifeless. I'm worried about my Deportivo Alaves boys. However, maybe that's a really good challenger. Will it be challenger or contender? It'll be contender. If they get relegated, there'll be a contender classic team next season. So let's see what happens. Obviously, I hope they stay up and turn their season around, but it's not looking good for the Alaves boys. It is looking good for Omar Soleil and Adrissi. Big scores from them as always. Paradella at Necaxa. Necaxa are having an amazing season. They're third in the league. This is like the best I've ever seen Necaxa play, I think. Since in the last few years, they've got rid of a few players from last season, got a few new faces in. They look good in Necaxa. So Paradella is kind of the heart of that midfield or slash wing. But yeah, he's great. Everyone else, meh. Then we go to All-Star, where I put a couple of lineups, but didn't really get anything there. Premier League in season. I was banking on Everton to do well. And they were 2-0 up against Manchester United at half-time. They were 2-0 up. I was loving life, thinking this is great. I've gone for Branthwaite. I've gone for Beto. We're going to get a clean sheet from Branthwaite. I've got Tarkovsky in another lineup. I've got other players in other lineups. Then they collapsed in the second half. It was kind of a bit of a Man United were really good. Once Bruno Fernandes scored that free kick, they just turned the game. And I don't think Everton were bad. I just think Man United just woke up and they were quite impressive. I was really impressed with Ugarte. I was really impressed with Fernandes. So yeah, Everton couldn't hold on. Arsenal lost to West Ham. Ridiculous. Didn't see that coming. Even though I put a West Ham team out here, we'll get to that in a minute. Arsenal, yeah, didn't see that coming. So I went for Rice and Nwaneri thinking West Ham at home, an easy game for Arsenal. They lost and basically threw the title in this weekend because Liverpool beat City and they lost to West Ham, and that's basically the title done, right? And then good score from Dean Henderson. Crystal Palace, I'm very impressed with that. But Henderson here, Eze and Mateta there. So I've kind of spread them around and neither of them got enough points to win me anything big in any of the Premier League lineups. Then we went for Forest and Cole Palmer, which also didn't work. I got relegated in this lineup because Sells had a disaster, conceding 4 goals, making an error. Defenders and Gibbs White were terrible, so we've got a relegation there. Relegation here as well, thanks to Zabani's red card. Bournemouth, playing Wolves at home, we're thinking easy win for Bournemouth there. They lose, and Zabani gets sent off. So, a bit of a disaster weekend, really. Didn't win anything serious. So Chelsea's classic lineup here, I played them against Villa and they lost, so that was painful. Here I went for West Ham against Arsenal as a kind of, I'm playing Chelsea and West Ham as my classic stacks most weeks. So away at Arsenal, I just thought maybe Arsenal are going to lose, and they did. So I got that bit right. I got that I was correct to bank on West Ham bit right, but I went for Mavropanos in defence, who's been playing all the other games before this week. All of a sudden he's dropped. Which is so annoying because I went for double West Ham. We'll get there. Double West Ham defense. Because I thought they're gonna lose. If they beat Arsenal, it'll be a narrow 1-0. They'll keep a clean sheet. Got the 2 defenders here. If I'd have gone for 2 playing defenders, who knows? Maybe we could have got a reward. Another Everton boy letting me down there. Spain. So in La Liga, we did okay with the Barcelona boys, but Dimitrovic in goal had a disaster, losing 3-0 to Sociedad. So we just won 500 XP, which is new. We won 500 XP in our second La Liga lineup as well, thanks to Julian Alvarez's double. He's on fire, by the way. Call the fire service. Call the fire engines. Julian Alvarez needs putting out. He's on fire. It's just a shame Danny Rabba didn't deliver in that 3-0 defeat. Juan Jordan a 62 in a 1-0 defeat is quite a, he's kind of the Enzo Fernandez of La Liga. He's putting up a good score despite no decisives and a team defeat. So that's a positive from the Alaves team. Juan Jordan kind of looks lively. Then we go to a third lineup, which was kind of just a bit of a punt to build XP. Marcus Alonso, by the way, 107 points from Marcus the Legend Alonso. Love it. Love it. Monaco. So I put Monaco, who were playing Lille away. We knew this was going to be a tricky game. They lost 2-1. I shouldn't have gone for Zakaria. I should have gone for my boy Lamine Kamara, but I didn't put him in there because he was like a 20% chance of playing. Not going to make that mistake again. Minamino's in good form as well. I think he scored in his last 3 games. So there's positives here. Also, Kera not playing. Not quite sure why. I've not done the full investigation. But I know Singo is back for Monaco, and he's the kind of best scoring defender at Monaco. So my ideal Monaco stack, I'm actually going to be playing this weekend. I'll show you that in a bit. But it doesn't involve Kera, and it doesn't involve Zakaria. My other class champion in season team, I went for 2 Wolves boys, and they beat Bournemouth 1-0. Happy days. So I won 5 essence. I could have done better if only Everton had held on. If Everton had held on against Manchester United, this would have been a better score for Tarkowski. Lindstrom. Oh, Lindstrom. Each week I've been playing Lindstrom thinking he's going to do good. He's going to break through. And each week I see him, make a great cross that doesn't get converted into a goal, or have a one-on-one with the goalkeeper and he just is unlucky and doesn't finish it. I think my patience is running out with Jesper Lindstrom. I think I'm going to have to not play him for a bit and then hope he gets into form later and then play him. So yeah, nothing to get excited about with the Everton boys, unfortunately. But Hudson-Odoi doing well, and the Wolves boys doing well. A good score here for Lacroix at Palace. Contender in season, we did okay with the Granada, Tigres losing 1. Another defeat for Tigres. 2 defeats in a row for Tigres now. Pay attention. This is going to be important when I show you the Mexican cards I bought. Alexis Sanchez is doing okay. He's in a good spell for Burgos. Burgos are fighting against relegation now. Not relegation, but where are they in the league? They are 18th in the league, so they're still fighting relegation, Burgos. But Sanchez is in good form, and I'm hoping he can keep them up. Because if they get relegated from La Liga B, then I really can't play them in Sorare. So you can't get relegated, guys. And then we're under 23s, nothing much to report here. And that was all my lineups. So let's now take a look at my new cards. The new cards that I've been buying. I've not bought many cards. I've spent about £9 on 3 cards from, drumroll please, Necaxa. If you're an OG on the channel and you've been watching the channel since I first started, Necaxa were one of my very first stacks. I got it to like 3%. That was back when I wasn't really building collections as big. So what I've decided to do is make another Necaxa collection, because I've got a soft spot for Necaxa. They're kind of because of Sorare, Santos are kind of my number 1 Mexican team, because that's my family's team here in Mexico. But Necaxa are the team that, because of Sorare, I've kind of fallen in love with. And they're on a really good run at the moment. They're 3rd in the league. They've won their last 4 games in a row. And they're playing Tigres this weekend, who have lost their last 2 games in a row. So with that in mind, I already had Paradella, the best scoring card, I think. It used to be Plavecino. He used to score well earlier on, but recently he's had a little bit of a dip, and his price has gone from like £6 to £3. So I picked him up on like a little bit of a dip. I got Cambindo as well, the striker, for about £3, and the goalkeeper I won for like £2.30 or something. So I've got the goalkeeper again. So I've got 2 of these cards now. One in Classic from 3 years ago, one in season now. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of the Mexican season with these Necaxa cards. So I've got him. I'm going to get a defender. You can see here the bids that I've been making. They're mainly Santos cards, because Santos have won. Santos won their first game against Atlas last weekend, and I just can't help but think, Maybe that gives them some confidence. Maybe Santos are now going to go on a bit of a run. A few surprise wins. They've got Monterrey away. Sergio Ramos is Monterrey at the weekend. So that'll be a tricky game. But you never know. They did look good in the last game against Atlas. Santos are finally playing some okay football. I just have to hope this continues as a Santos fan. So I thought I'll pick up a few Santos cards if I can for like 2 ETH, like 0.02 ETH, like 30p. So I've got a few bids on some Santos cards. I'm trying to build this Necaxa collection now. I'm not going to go crazy and try and go for 5%, but I need a defender. I'm hoping... The reason I've not got a defender yet is because I don't quite know who that's going to be. I'd like it to be Alan Montes. He was the best defender for them last season, but he's been dropped lately. I've got his card in Classic, and he's been dropped, but he came off the bench last week and scored a goal. So I'm just going to give it one more week maybe and see with Alan Montes. He could be the defender to get, and he's really cheap at the moment because he's been out of the team for so long. So yeah, look at these scores from these Necaxa boys lately. Big scores, big scores. So hopefully Necaxa can keep this going. The third in the league, having a good season. They've still got like half the season left. So I'm going to go all in for contender in season. And I picked up this Jesus Angolo as well from Tigres, because I think I got him for quite a good price. I got him for like £1 or something. So, and I think I even traded a card for him. I don't even think I spent money on him. I traded a card I didn't want. So they're the 4 cards I've bought since last week's video. All all Liga MX cards. Let's see how they do. It's going to make contender in season a little bit more fun for me. It's going to make watching Mexican season more fun for me. So it's all good. So those are the new cards I bought. Not too many. As I said last week, my spending has slowed down a bit now. I'm kind of hoping I can pick up a few cash wins and start saving the money now. So I can't keep buying Liga MX cards. Maybe this will be it. But anyway, they're my new cards. They're my lineups. Let's finish this week's video by looking at my lineups for the coming weekend. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. These are my lineups for game week 58, the weekend coming up. And we've got an all-star competition where I'm not really, this one's a little bit of a punt. Both lineups are, have playing goalkeepers, so they're not complete throwaways this week. Because there's no Premier League football, my lineups are reduced. And what that mainly involves is the goalkeepers, because I rely on my Premier League goalkeepers in Champion as well. So I've not been able to put as many lineups out this week, basically. But the all-star lineups are all playing. So I did say Necaxa are playing Tigres at home. Tigres lost the last 2 games. Necaxa won the last 4 games. So I'm hoping Necaxa are really full of confidence and give Tigres another defeat. If that happens, I've got here the classic versions of Alan Montes, who I was saying is expected to be in the team now. Was out of the team, came back last week. It's not a guarantee. He's the riskiest player in this lineup. But if he plays, he's with the goalkeeper here and the classic versions of the card because the in-seasons are being used somewhere else. Then I'm going to go for 2 Monaco boys. So these are the 2 Monaco young wingers who I'm not playing in my main lineup. So these are kind of extra. Monaco have got a good game this week. They're playing Stade Rennes, who are 15th. 15th in the table. Monaco 5th. Monaco need a win. Their form is a little bit on the down. Their performances haven't been great lately. So playing a team at home like Stade Rennes should be a good game for Monaco. And Osama Idrissi in great form. He's going to be my captain. This lineup's a bit more of a gamble. I've gone for Marcos Alonso, who's playing away at Girona. Girona not having the best season, and Celta are playing better. So let's hope for another 107 score from Alonso. Soleil's going to be captain because he's been a rock for that Udinese defense. Tricky game for Santiago Jimenez, that's why he's in this lineup. Tricky game for Obed in goal, and Efrain Alvarez, I think he's away at Lyon. So yeah, this is a bit more of a gamble. This is a bit more optimistic, this lineup. Then we go to La Liga in season, where usually I go for the Raff and Friends lineup. Is usually 4 or 5 Barcelona, not 5, I don't have the goalkeeper. It's usually 4 Barcelona cards and Dimitrovic. This week, I think is a bit of a tricky fixture for Barcelona. They have played midweek in the Cup, so I'm not 100% certain on the lineup. So because of the uncertainty in if Barcelona are going to rest players, and it's a bit of a tricky fixture, Sociedad, I'm going to just play Rafinha and not play other Barcelona cards with him. So because the only 2 Barcelona cards that I feel confident about are Rafinha and Lewandowski. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split them up so I can captain them both and have Rafinha captain. And then I've got 3 Leganes cards. So basically, I'm banking on Leganes because they've got a better fixture against Getafe. I'm banking on, because they've got a better fixture, you know, I'm picking the fixture over the team. So I'm going to be going for my 3 Leganes cards, striker, defender, goalkeeper. Saul has an okay game away at Vallecano, and he's in good form. And Rafinha is the man, so he's going to captain this team. And the other team, I'm going to be going for a few more Barcelona cards. Also, it should be worth saying these teams are both in Division 2. So it's not really like this is the A team, this is the B team. They're in the same kind of level. So I'm basically splitting up the Barcelona big hitters up front. Also because Julian Alvarez has a good fixture. So I want to fit him in. I want to fit this Leganes guy in. So I want to fit these 4 strikers in. And it just seems to work out. Splitting them seems better. So I'm going to go for 3 Barcelona cards in this line. This one's a little bit more of a risk because it's got Dani Olmo in. Dani Olmo isn't guaranteed to be starting, but as he showed last weekend, he came off the bench and scored. And I looked through his past fixtures and his form this season. I think there was another week where he came off the bench and scored and then was given a start the next game. So I'm hoping the manager kind of keeps that fair sort of system of like, you played well and scored in the last game, you get a start the next game. So let's see if Dani Olmo plays, or if he comes off the bench, he can score again. So the 3 Barcelona boys are going to be in this lineup with Julian Alvarez and then the Alaves goalkeeper, which they're playing away at Mallorca. Not expecting a clean sheet here for Alaves, but you never know. Maybe a miracle can happen. Then we've got a DMP goalkeeper, the Alaves backup goalkeeper, and then 3 Alaves cards and Isaac Romero. It's in Division 3, so I can't get relegated. So this is kind of just maybe these 4 smash. Hopefully they smash, because that'll mean Alaves have won and are fighting against relegation. Then we've got Barcelona boys in the warm-up league, another MLS warm-up league where I can play my 1 MLS card. I do feel like I'm the only Sorare manager in the world that isn't playing MLS this season. If you're not playing MLS, let me know in the comments. It'll make me feel better that I'm not the only player missing out on all the MLS fun. But I'm playing the warm-up league, okay? We're in the MLS warm-up league, so that's MLS content done. Champion in season, LA Monaco. We're in Division 1. Once again, Sorare Data is saying that Lamine Camara might not play. They did this last week and he played. So I'm not listening to this anymore. There's no news of an injury. He's the best, one of the best midfielders. I'm playing him, all right? He's on corners. I'm playing him. So I hope Minamino can keep up his goal scoring. I hope Kamara plays. Singo's back now, so he's in defense instead of Kera. Goalkeeper, and then Big Mika captain up front. Oh, come on, Monaco. Come on, I need a win. Division 1, champion in season. This is the lineup I'm most excited about this week. So this is the game I'm going to be watching with the most hope. So let's see what happens. We can't play any more champion lineups because we've got no Premier League goalkeepers to use. We can't play any champion classic lineups because we've not got any Premier League goalkeepers again. So then we go to Challenger where we have a classic lineup. This is a gamble. Dennis has just signed for Blackburn. So we're hoping he's got Norwich at home, which is a good fixture. But he came off the bench last week because he's been injured when he signed. So hopefully he's built his match fitness up and will start, but he might come off the bench again. So this is why this is a gamble. Also, Lamina. Shout out to Mario Lamina. He started the last game for Galatasaray. So again, I'm not certain he's going to start, but I'm hoping he's now in the first team. Then there's a warm-up league. Contender in season. Here they are. Here are the Necaxa boys. So I've got 4 Necaxa cards in my main in-season contender team. And then Piovi is the classic card, who's got Mazatlan away. Mazatlan are not a great team in Liga MX. So it's a good fixture for him. He also didn't play the last game, so he should be fresh. So I'm hoping that there is a possibility that if I get an Alan Montes in-season card, maybe I play Alan Montes here. But it is Tigres. And Tigres do have a lot of good attacking players. So I'm not fully certain on Necaxa keeping a clean sheet. So that's why I quite like having a classic defender card from a different team, because I'm not guaranteeing a clean sheet here. But I do think these 3 boys going forward, I think that's a very nice attacking stack for contender in season. Cambindo, Plavicino, and Paradella. That is a very nice attacking stack, and they're in form right now. So hopefully they can keep it going, and I haven't cursed them. My second team, I'm going to be going for the 2 Granada boys, who are from my Alaves collection. Tigres defender, just in case this doesn't work. I've got a Tigres defender here and also a Tigres midfielder. So that Necaxa Tigres game on Saturday is going to be very important for me. I'm going to be watching that game very closely because I've got 3 Necaxa cards here from it, and I've got 2 Tigres cards here. And then an Atlas goalkeeper who has a tricky fixture, but all of my contender goalkeepers seem to have tricky fixtures this week. In Classic, I'm going for Castemeyer and Ita. Again, not great fixtures for these 2 cards, but I didn't really have a lot of good fixtures in my contender this week. The Burgos boys, and then Vergara, who's playing a team much lower in the table than them. Another Classic team. This is the craziest lineup. This is Amreezy going full crazy, okay? I'm backing Santos away at Monterrey because they won at the weekend. That's the only reason is A, I support Santos. B, they won their first game of the season last weekend and looked okay. And these 2 might try. I might go even crazier. If I get my market auctions in before the deadline, I might play Carrillo, who plays for Santos, and Sordo, who plays for Santos. I might play a full 5 stack of Santos players. It's worth noting this is Division 3, so I can't get relegated. So I kind of feel like no one else is going to be crazy enough to play a full Santos stack away at Monterrey. But early on in the season in Mexico, you get surprise results, especially with teams like Monterrey, Mexico, Tigres. It's almost like they don't try at the beginning of the season. And as long as they make the playoff stage, that's all they care about. And then they start trying harder in the knockout stages at the end of the season. So with that in mind, you do get surprise results now and again. And I just think it'll make it a bit more fun for me to watch if I've got some Santos stakes in this game. So let's see how Santos let me down this weekend. And then I've got no under 23 lineup because I think I've used my goalkeeper somewhere else and I didn't have good outfield options for the under 23s this week. So that's my lineups. Good luck with your lineups, people. Thank you for watching. Give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Helps me out massively. I love the little community we're growing. Give me some comments as well if you've got any tips. I love advice, scouting. I love adding players to my scout list. Let me know what you think, guys. Good luck with your game weeks. I'll see you next week. Peace.